My privilege to welcome Annmarie Tringo as well as the rest of the DiPasquale team.
So, this is the DiPasquale, actually I'm going to put the lights back on so they can see you pretty girls. Okay, so this is the DiPasquale team. Some of you know some of the girls, some of them don't. Tara DiPasquale is our CPA, graduate from FIU with her master's in taxes. And then we have Danielle. Danielle is our front office lady, keeps everything moving, keeps the paperwork moving. Paperwork moves so quickly through our office, sometimes I can't keep track of it. And our newest addition is Liz. Liz is our newest addition to our staff, and she is bilingual. Several people have asked me about that, so she is. So no fear, you can send your Spanish-speaking clients to us, and we'd be happy to help them. And so we're going to move along here. So, some of you, is it better with the lights off? I think so. Okay. Some of you have probably seen these on the internet, and it's kind of funny. What do people think you do? What do people think a doctor does, or a lawyer, or a teacher, or a scientist? Well, we're going to play on that. What do people think CPAs do? So we're going to start right now with Danielle, and Danielle is going to tell us, what does my boyfriend think I do?
So in general, I actually asked my boyfriend, I said, so babe, what do you think accountants or CPAs do? And he says, I think they balance stuff and they count things. Yeah, all right. Now during tax season, he thinks I stay late on purpose to get out of cooking dinner, airing socks, cleaning out the litter box for 3 cats, and doing the laundry. It just works out that way.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Moving along. So our next speaker this morning is, what do my kids think we do? So Tara is going to tell us, what do her kids think she does?
Well, as most of you know, I have 2 children, ages 12 and 9. So I asked them what they think I do at work. So my kids think that I spend the whole day on the phone, typing on the computer, and answering questions like the teacher at school. They think that during tax season that I don't come home because I fell asleep at my desk. And they also know that mom will say yes to almost anything during tax season. And that's how my son got 4 poison dart frogs during this tax season as new pets.
Interesting what you can ask mom to say yes to during tax season when she's so tired. My husband spends a lot of time in Costco. Okay, what do my friends think I do? So Liz posted on her Facebook page and asked her friends, what do you think I do?
Well, my friends think that I balance accounts at work, manage other people's money, or at least I try to, hide money from Uncle Sam,
Good job.
try to keep people out of jail, taxes. Somebody thinks I do all of those plus make coffee. Somebody said I take numbers, crunch them, and come up with a bottom line. But the funniest thing is my church friends think that I am making so much money now. They all want to know what I'm doing with the money I'm making. My husband thinks that the only thing that I do is taxes. So he's extremely concerned after tax season was over if Tara was going to fire me. But apparently the only thing accountants know how to do is taxes.
Thank you. So then we have this set of, what do clients think we can do? So Danielle had a very interesting call from a client. She's going to explain the situation to you.
So a new client actually came in with his prior tax return that we didn't prepare, and he informs that he and his wife are actually wanting to buy a house. And so, they're applying for the mortgage loan. And he then says, I would like to change the income on this return to report $50,000 before I give this tax return to the bank. You can't do that. I don't know if you guys know that we can't do that. So then asked him, okay, well, do you have the necessary documents, forms like W-2s, 1099s to report the $50,000 in case of an audit? He didn't have it, obviously. So, as much as clients think we're magicians and can, get the numbers out of thin air, unfortunately we're not. So.
Thank you, Danielle. All right. My next one is, what does B and I think we do? So we thought we'd ask you some questions. However, we know what you think we do. We make cookies. Every place we go, we show up with a tray of cookies. If you haven't had one, please help yourself on the way out. It's kind of our trademark. Some of you may know how this tradition got started. I was at a B&I meeting one time, and it was all of the chapters. It was at the Signature Grand, and they had a couple of speakers. And one speaker spoke about his visit to New York City. So he rides around in New York City in the same taxi. Why does he ride around in that taxi? Because that taxi driver is on call for him. He has snacks in the back of his taxi, cold waters, chips, candy bars, whatever. That made that taxi driver stand out. How many taxi cabs are there in New York City? So I came back and I said to our staff, what makes us different? I mean, every corner, every shopping center, especially from January to April, has a tax preparer in it. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Sedano's, you can go to any place and get your taxes done. What makes us different? So I decided we have to have homemade chocolate chip cookies. Not only when you walk into the office is that fragrance comforting, because people come in very apprehensive. They don't want to do taxes. They don't want to talk about their finances. They're fearful of the government. But that fragrance gives them a sense of calm. And I want them, when they leave our office, the next person that they meet, they're going to say, I just met with my accountant, and you're not going to believe they served fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. So that's how that tradition got started. Moving along, I'll tell you what we actually do. Lights, girls? All right. What do we actually do? Well, we actually help people understand the complicated tax laws by explaining them in layman's terms. We all have a very specific lingo that goes to our profession. So it's very important that we speak to our clients on their level. They don't understand things, a pass-through, or skipping a generation, or all of these terms that are characteristic to our profession. So it's very important that we speak to them on their terms so they feel comfortable to ask us a question, because we don't want them to feel stupid, Mr. Steiger. We want them to feel like they've left our office educated about their finances and how we can help them. So while we advocate for our clients to help them figure out the most beneficial tax structures for their personal and business needs, as client advocates, and I have spoken to you about this so many times, we strive to maximize their tax savings in the most ethical and legal ways. We have clients who come in who have had tax returns prepared by preparers which are totally illegal. When they explain this to us, we say, we're very sorry, we cannot help you, we will not prepare a tax return like that. We are some of the most trusted professionals as we stand by a code of professional conduct to maintain confidentiality of our clients' sensitive personal and financial information. So, it still surprises us when
People get their taxes done by some random preparer.
So, that concludes our presentation. We hope that you have enjoyed it and that you've learned something. And most important, at DiPasquale Associates, we make paying taxes
less taxes.